Hello everyone, I'm Terry White, Principal Director, Creative Cloud Evangelist and Community Advocate at Adobe. Welcome to the 9th edition of Adobe DITAWORLD 2024. It's truly inspiring to see so many bright minds coming together. I'm sure you've all had a great first conference day yesterday and enjoyed Chad's keynote from vinyl to digital. Personally, I found the customer presentations from Ernst & Young and the Mayo Clinic very interesting, and it's inspiring to see how Adobe's enterprise solutions like AEM and AEM guides help organizations to manage and deliver critical information, including life-saving content. It was also inspiring to see how Workfront is becoming a powerful workflow management solution, not only for creatives, but for content management professionals as well. Adobe has a wide range of applications used by content professionals and creative minds worldwide. Of course, Adobe DITAWorld is all about content strategy, content management, structured content, and creating digital experiences. But today, I want to talk about creativity and how AI can fuel your creativity, enable you to go wild with your imagination. So I hope you'll indulge me for a few minutes so that I can show you some fun, inspiration, and new possibilities of AI that AI can give us on top of what Vishab Gupta showed us yesterday for AEM guides. Give me a minute. Let's take a look. I'm going to dive right in to one of my favorite things, which is Adobe Firefly. So I'm in a browser. I'm in my Chrome browser, as a matter of fact, and I've got the Adobe Firefly website up. And if I go to text to image, it just shows me various inspirational generations that others have done. But I can either start with one of those. So if I see one I like and maybe I just want to change it up a little bit, or maybe I just want to see the prompt that was used to do it, I can see it without even going into it. But I have my own prompt ready to go that I just want to go ahead and type in and have some fun with. And let's start with the elephant in the room. That's right. How about an elephant riding a bike in wearing a top hat in Times Square. I'm based in the East Coast here in Atlanta, so Times Square, New York is not that far from me. So an elephant riding a bike wearing a top hat in Times Square on a summer day. All right, so plain English in my case. Supports up to 100 languages, so you can type it in your native tongue and just hit generate. So type in what you describe your image and hit the generate button and let Firefly do the rest. And just like that, I got images that I know don't exist anywhere else in the world because there's no stock photo of an elephant riding a bike wearing a top hat in Times Square in New York on a summer day. So if I don't like any of those, I can hit generate again and just pull the lever and have it generate 4 new ones. If I do like any of these, I can just click on it and I can then go in and either I can download it if I like it. I can star it, meaning make it a favorite. I can report it if it's a good result or a bad result, or if there's something that shouldn't happen, I can report that as an error. And I can even edit it. So if I wanted to take this image and do more with it right here from Firefly to another site, I can do that. I can go into Express and create a design. I can use Firefly's ability to do generative fill, generate similar results, so forth and so on. But I'm going to back out of this for a second because I want to edit my prompt. I want to say not only wearing a top hat and sunglasses, because why not? I told you this would be fun. Now, as I begin to type in my prompt, it gives me prompt suggestions on what else I might add. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with just mine. And you can turn those suggestions off too if you don't want it. And it will give me those. Now I should see the same kinds of images. They're going to all be different than what I saw before. But now it should at least have the ones with sunglasses. And these are pretty cool. I don't know. I just enjoy this one. So if I like it, download it right off the bat. Don't have to go any further or start, save it as a favorite. But I also want to change the aspect ratio. For a square image is great for social posts like on Facebook or Instagram. but I want to use it for something wider. So maybe I want to go to landscape. Maybe I need it for that. And I just hit generate after going landscape, and it will generate new images that fill that landscape aspect ratio. So this is pretty cool that it's just doing this right off the bat. We'll give it a second to do that. And sure enough, I got my landscape images with my elephant wearing sunglasses. That one doesn't have any sunglasses on, but that's okay. The other three do. And if I wanted another set, I can generate more. Now, but wait, I need it wider than that. So I do a lot of videos, and sometimes I need thumbnails for my videos. So I'm going to go full widescreen 16:9, or maybe I'm doing a presentation in the future, like the one I'm doing now, where I want it to fill up a slide. So a slide is usually 16:9 these days, and that is like a 1920 by 1080 aspect ratio for video or slide decks. And so now I've got the perfect background to my slide, or the perfect image for a slide, that is my elephant wearing sunglasses with a top hat on in Times Square on a summer day. Take your pick, whichever one you want, or generate more. Now, that's just a quick look at generating images from scratch just by going to a website and typing this in. I can't stress how much easier this is than typical generative AI out there today. So I'm going to go in and let's take it up a notch, because we're always adding new capabilities to Firefly on the web. And sometimes it gets in Photoshop first, sometimes it gets in Firefly first, then Photoshop. Well, this is one that was actually given to us by customers. Customers said, hey, we want an easier way to do this than what we're doing now. So what they were doing is, if they needed this image to be wider, for example, they would go into Photoshop, take the crop tool, and then expand it out like this, or maybe even go taller. And there are aspect ratios down here as well that you can go ahead and type in. But you could go in and just generate it. But they were doing all this manually. So then we said, oh, well, you don't have to do it manually. We'll make a feature called Generative Expand. So now Generative Expand is coming to Firefly's website for the first time. So this is a preview of how this feature would work. So basically, when you have an image that doesn't quite fit the background or the page or what you need to put it on, now it's just that much easier to make that image fit, even if it's your own image that you upload, instead of one that you generated from scratch. So that's extremely cool and very useful. Now, that's AI for good, as I like to say. Now let's go to another site. So the first two were Firefly, firefly.adobe.com. Now I'm on express.adobe.com. And Express is our one-stop shop for creators or marketers that want to create posts or social media posts or flyers or content, and they're not necessarily graphic designers. If you are a designer and you want to start with a blank page, have at it. But if you're not and you want tens of thousands of beautiful templates to choose from, you can do that in Express. So I've done that. I picked a template. I changed some of the text already, but what I really want is a different background. This beach looks like it's about to storm. It doesn't look very inviting for a beach party. And it is probably the time of day. So this is the photo that was in the template. Now, if I had my own photo, great, no problem, I could upload it. But I don't really have a party photo on the beach. So once again, we'll use the power of AI. We'll go to media. We'll say that we want to do text to image. It'll ask me what aspect ratio do I want that in. I'm going to go ahead and say portrait. And then I'm just going to go ahead and expand it out to be the size of the page there. And now that I got it expanded out, it's waiting for me to describe what I want. So I want summer day at the beach with balloons and confetti. Because I don't have that. It doesn't exist. And I want it to be a photo. So I can let it pick, or I can make it art or graphics, but I want a photo instead. So I'll just hit generate, and it gives me, these are actually some previous generations, so I'm not going to cheat. I'm going to load some more because I'd already tried this out. But let's load 4 different ones so you see the time that it takes. And this one, it even generated some party goers for me. But let's go ahead and generate that. So it's even generates summer day for me. But I really like that one a lot. So that's got the balloons. This one's got the balloons and the confetti. That one's got the balloons and confetti. It's very similar. I'm going to go ahead and choose. I can't really decide. I'll choose that one. Okay, so now I'll just go ahead and I can just bring that one down in my layers panel, down as the background now behind everything else. I can filter it, I can change it, I can generate it again, but you get the idea. So that's Adobe Express with Firefly built in, generative AI and generative capabilities. Now let's head over to an application I spend a lot of time in, and that's Photoshop. And we got this cute puppy here. He looks like my dog, Pixel. Get it? Pixel. That's my dog's name. But it looks very much to my Jack Russell as well, but I want to put this dog on a beach. So first thing I want to do is just remove the existing background. And using the power of AI, it's just one click away on our new contextual taskbar because it figured out what the subject was and removed the background. This would have been a several minute step for most Photoshop users in the past. Now I can import a background, but then I'd have to have a background that matches that summer day at the beach. It's the right angle, the right perspective, because we're shooting down at the front on the dog versus over the top. And so I need to make sure that this is going to fit. So I'll just generate one. And again, we'll do summer day at the beach. I've got a keyword set up for that, and we'll just go ahead and generate. So now Photoshop, using the power of Firefly built in, is looking at that subject, looking at the lighting, looking at the pause, looking at everything, and generating beach images that would look like the dog was composited or there all along on the beach, just like that. So we can even see the sand covering some of the toes there. Here, I'll move this over a little bit so we can see it better. And I had 3 variations to choose from. I really like that first one, though. That first one's going to be my winner. And just like that. And if we think about it, if we even go to some of these other ones here, you need to see we're starting putting in the shadows, again, getting the lighting just right, getting the angle just right. And if I had just brought this image up from the very beginning, you would just think it was a dog at the beach. All right, so now let's move on. This one's going to be kind of fun. This is a picture of me on stage. And I selected my jacket up front just to save time. But I kind of wanted to see what it would look like if I had this jacket on, or a jacket on that kind of matched the purple lighting here. So I found a picture of a purple blazer. And what I want to do is, using the power of generative fill in Firefly in Photoshop, there's a new option to choose a reference image. So I'm going to go find that blazer. There it is. That's what it looks like. And now we'll go ahead and open that blazer up, and then we'll just hit generate. I don't need a prompt, because a prompt is when you're describing with words what you want the AI to make. But if I gave it a picture, I'm telling it, hey, make it like this. Put that jacket on me. And this would have taken, I wouldn't have even tried to do this in the past. If I didn't have a shot of me wearing a jacket like this, maybe I would have changed the color of the existing one, but that's about it. I mean, I couldn't have made it like this in any short amount of time. But wait a minute, Terry, well, what if you don't want to use anything that exists? Let's replace this image. Let's go and grab this image. Here's a blue jean jacket that is by no one, because I generated this jacket in Firefly. So it doesn't exist. I can't violate any copyright, can't do anything, can't say I'm using someone else's intellectual property, because I generated the jacket in the first place. The jacket does not exist. So now that I'll go ahead and tell it to use that jacket instead of the one that I saw a picture of or took a picture of, now I know I'm safe because I'm using something, again, that doesn't exist. And so we'll give it a few seconds to do that. And like magic, there it is, me wearing that jacket that doesn't exist, that I generated in Firefly. And here's what that jacket looks like. Notice it didn't even have the sleeves, and it did it for me. All right, so that's the power of Firefly built into Photoshop. And those are just a few examples of how I think AI is really going to help us going forward. So that's it from my side. Enjoy the rest of your conference. Stay inspired, stay creative, and never stop learning. And with that, let me hand it over to Susanna Carlisi from Precision Content and Ashita Grover from Cisco for their keynote, Blueprints of Innovation. Over to you, Susanna and Ashita. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.